This week,
it's a mess. I think it's a mess.
a triple stabbing sends shockwaves through a neighborhood. Plus,
I'm out here running at least a couple times a week, and this is very unusual for at least what I've seen.
terrifying moments in Central Park when a sunbathing woman had to fight off an attempted rapist in broad daylight. And
Can't believe it. It's like a nightmare. Family man, loved his daughter.
a community left in disbelief and sorrow after a popular sneaker reseller was shot and killed. Right now, Fox 5's Crime in the City. Here are the crimes across the 5 boroughs. We begin in the East Village, where a triple stabbing left 1 person dead, as well as 2 others injured.
It's a mess. I think it's a mess.
That's how one neighbor described this stretch of 14th Street, a busy East Village thoroughfare turned crime scene, as police investigate a triple stabbing that left 1 man dead. According to the NYPD, it all went down just before 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Police have not detailed the circumstances that led up to the stabbing, but say it happened outside near Avenue A. Investigators say a 38-year-old man was stabbed in the neck, a 52-year-old woman was stabbed in the leg, and a 31-year-old man was stabbed in the lower back. They were all rushed to Bellevue Hospital, where the 38-year-old man died from his injuries. The woman is in critical condition, and the younger man is said to be stable.
The first thing I saw was a lady on the ground right here, and she was bleeding profusely. She had a wrap around, tourniquet around her leg, and then I saw a man getting into the ambulance. He had a stab wound on his neck.
1 person was taken into custody at the scene, and a cutting instrument was recovered as detectives conducted interviews and cordoned through evidence, all while suitcases, clothing, shoes, and other belongings were strewn across the sidewalk. Some who live in the area say it's home to illegal vendors, rampant drug use, crime, and claim the city hasn't done enough to clean up the streets.
This isn't a safe street to walk on at night, but even during the day, I always walk on the other side.
I can't even remember how many times I've called 311 complaining.
Mayor Adams was grilled about the problem during a community conversation back in February and promised a solution.
We can't seem to get this problem to go away. The 9th precinct shows up, moves them out, they're back in an hour, they're back the next day.
I have traveled that block. I'm gonna go back over there. That condition should have been rectified.
That 30-year-old man in police custody has yet to be named or formally charged. Police also have yet to identify that 38-year-old victim who died at the hospital.
We now go to SoHo, where a well-known sneaker reseller was apparently ambushed, shot, and killed early Tuesday morning.
The murder of Javier Osorio Mejia continues to reverberate across the sneaker community in the city tonight. On Orchard Street in the Lower East Side, the 31-year-old victim is being remembered outside the store he once owned, Vault 134.
Can't believe it. It's like a nightmare. Family man, loved his daughter.
T owns a business down the street. He and others in the community knew the victim by the nickname Crack, C-R-A-C-C.
Very sweet guy, good father, good son, friendly with everybody. Come in the morning, he make you laugh. He will ask you if you want coffee, whatever, just a friendly guy.
Police say at 5:15 Tuesday morning, the victim, driving a Range Rover on Green Street in SoHo, was shot at least 3 times. Rushed to the hospital, he died. On the cobblestone street, his cash was left behind, along with his new Range Rover. The Bayonne, New Jersey resident was quickly identified by friends as a fixture in the sneaker scene.
I didn't know him super well. I don't want to come on here and pretend like we were super close, but everything I knew about him felt like it was from an era of New York City sneaker reselling that has kind of gone by the wayside and evaporated. But he was really outside and really hustling and trying to show up to every single release and really be connected and know the right people.
Police are now on the hunt for the shooter or shooters, saying whoever did it fled the scene in a black SUV. The motive is also under investigation.
What do you think should happen to the person who did this?
God got him. For sure, God got him.
A broader memorial is being planned to take place outside his former store on Wednesday.
Up in Central Park, a sunbathing 21-year-old woman had to fight off a man who attempted to rape her in broad daylight.
Julie runs with her dog no matter what the time of day.
I do feel safer with the dog for sure.
The NYPD flooding Central Park after a man attempted to rape a 21-year-old woman while she was sunbathing by herself. It happened in the Great Hills section at 104th Street and West Drive about 1:30 in the afternoon.
She sees a male black coming towards her, exposing himself. She screams and gets up to run. He tackles her from behind.
Chief John Schell says the woman fought off her attacker and ran away. The suspect ran southbound on West Drive. Chief Schell giving a description.
Male black in his 30s, about 6 feet, medium build, wearing a light colored shirt and shorts. He also has curly hair.
The NYPD says it wants surveillance cameras permanently installed in dark and remote areas of the park and is working with the Parks Department to make that happen.
I would like to put cameras up in these bike paths that are not illuminated. So I want cameras there because a lot of times these incidents that we see that are happening here in this park and parks across the city, there are areas that are off the beaten path. There are areas that are not seen by the visual patrol where police officers are in the patrol car patrolling the park.
Some park goers out exercising are surprised by the violent attack.
I'm out here running at least a couple times a week, and this is very unusual for at least what I've seen. I've never felt unsafe.
And right now, the NYPD is going over footage from surveillance cameras that are outside the park and all around the outside of the park, because there is a very good chance one of those cameras could have picked up an image of this suspect leaving the park, and then the NYPD would be able to release that image, those pictures, to the public to help identify and locate the suspect.
Down in Greenwich Village, police are searching for a suspect who broke 15 pride flags inside Christopher Park.
The NYPD is looking for a suspect behind a hate crime in Greenwich Village. Investigators released this video of the person that they're looking for. Police say this last Saturday at around 8 p.m. the suspect broke more than a dozen pride flags inside Christopher Park and then took off. If you can help identify them, you're being asked to call police.
Back in SoHo, a 69-year-old man was punched repeatedly and robbed on a subway platform.
The NYPD is looking for the person accused of attacking and robbing a man on a subway platform in SoHo. Now, police say the suspect came up behind a 69-year-old man on the southbound R platform at the Canal Street station. This happened Monday morning around 11:15. The suspect then reportedly punched the victim repeatedly in the face, robbed him, and then ran off. That victim suffered minor injuries. If you recognize the person on your screen or have any information, call Crime Stoppers at number 800-577-TIPS.
And finally, we end in Lower Manhattan, where police say a suspect impersonated a police officer and pepper sprayed a man inside the Whitehall Street South Ferry subway station.
Police are looking for a man accused of impersonating a police officer and assaulting someone with pepper spray. This happened on Sunday evening at the Whitehall Street South Ferry subway station. Police say the man was wearing an NYPD detective shield and attempted to stop a 46-year-old man. Cops say when that man tried to walk away, the impersonator pepper sprayed him, causing burns and swelling to his face. He was transported to Bellevue Hospital in stable condition, but if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers.
That's this week's Crime in the City. Subscribe for more at youtube.com/Fox5NY.